All right, everybody, I'm John Herrick. I've got a special Colts versus Jets playoff preview here, and before we get you geared up for the AFC wildcard matchup. Okay, the Indianapolis Colts come into this game 10-6, winning all four of their last four games, and the New York Jets come in at 11-5. I think people were expecting a little bit better, generating all the preseason hype that they had. But I'm going to give you 3 keys to victory for each team, and then I'm going to pick the winner. So first, let's start with the Indianapolis Colts. First one that they've got to do, they've got to be able to get production out of flip it around. Jacob Tamme and Blair White must step up. These two guys have got to be a big factor in the passing game for the Colts. Jacob Tamme has been a huge asset for them all year, filling in for Dallas Clark. You're going to have Antonio Cromartie on one side guarding Pierre Garçon. You're going to have Reggie Wayne being guarded by the shutdown corner Darrelle Revis on the other. Those two guys might get taken out of the game. If that happens, Jacob Tamme and Blair White have to open up the middle of the field and give the Colts room to throw the football and spread that Jets defense out. If not, Peyton Manning could have a problem. The next thing the Colts have to do, and this is one that I think a lot of people might be confused on a little bit, but I'll explain why. You got to stop Sean Green and Brad Smith. And you're probably saying to yourself, well, why those two guys? Why are you guys just saying those two? Well, the Colts have a pretty good track record against LaDainian Tomlinson. I think they'll find a way to take him out of the game. But Sean Green is built like an Arian Foster. He's built very much like him. And Arian Foster had 2 huge games against the Colts this year. So the Colts have to find a way to shut him down. And if you remember last year in the AFC Championship game when the Colts were losing 17-6, Sean Green was having a pretty good game. He was putting the Jets in 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, 2nd and short situations. And then, then all of a sudden he has a hip injury and he has to leave the game in the third quarter, does not return. That was a break for the Colts. That was a huge break that they got, not having to worry about him play the rest of the game. So not having Sean Green in there, huge asset for him last year, but they're going to have to find a way to shut him down in this one. And Brad Smith, this is a guy that gets overlooked so much, but he is a guy that can return kicks for a long way. He can return kicks. He can return punts. He returned a kickoff for a touchdown in the second half of last year's regular season game between the Colts and the Jets, and that put the Jets in front 10-9 before the Colts decided, well, perfect season's not important, so they didn't go for it. But Brad Smith is a guy, and they'll line him up in the Wildcat as well. They'll probably put Sanchez wide to the left or wide to the right at times, and they'll go with Brad Smith. Now, if he comes in and plays a role, gets the Colts defense out of their rhythm, that could be a problem. The Colts cannot let him break one either behind center, out of the shotgun in the Wildcat, or for a touchdown on kickoff return. The next one, you got to run to victory if you're the Colts. Do not abandon the running game. I don't care how good Peyton Manning is. He needs the run to help him out. I don't care if the Jets have one of the best run defenses in the league. You've got to find a way to run the football. You signed Dominic Rhodes for a reason. You got Joseph Adai back and healthy a little bit from that neck injury. You've got to use both of them and even use Donald Brown. Donald Brown's looked good when he's been out there as well. So you've got to be able to use the running game, put the pressure on the Jets defense to worry about the run and the pass, not just Peyton Manning. And if you do that, you're going to create an even more balanced offense, and the Jets will be even more out of rhythm. Now, if you're going to be the New York Jets and win this game, here are your 3 keys to victory. First one, you got to control time of possession. If you don't control the time of possession and Peyton Manning's out there for 2/3 of the game or over half of the game, Jets defense is going to be exhausted. They're going to be so tired, and you can't have that. You can't have a tired defense against Peyton Manning. You're going to lose 10 times out of 10. You got to run the ball. Ball control offense. High percentage completions to move the chains. Don't try to get it all in one play. Try to sustain drives. The Colts would rather have you score quick than take 8 minutes off the clock. So go out there, control time of possession, run the football, protect Mark Sanchez, and you will be in good shape. You got to win the time of possession battle in a game like this. Next one, put the pressure on Peyton Manning. If you don't put pressure on Peyton Manning, he will sit back there and carve you up. A lot of coaches say, well, we'll just rush 3 or 4 and drop 7 or 8 and let the Colts running game try to beat us. Well, the New York Giants tried that. It didn't work. Kansas City Chiefs tried that in the playoffs a couple years ago. It didn't work. You've got to be able to try to blitz Peyton Manning and live with some of those big plays from time to time. If you do that, you will have more success. Like any other quarterback, though, if Peyton Manning's under pressure, he will struggle. So you've got to find a way to get those exotic blitzes in his face so he doesn't have time to throw. And you've got to make better adjustments at halftime than you did last year if you're the Jets, because Peyton made better adjustments and the Jets weren't ready for him. It was clearly obvious. So you got to find a way to keep adjusting, keep adapting, and keep Peyton Manning on the sideline and put pressure on him. Next one, you cannot hide the Sanchez. They call Mark Sanchez the Sanchez. Well, guess what? You hit him last week against Buffalo. You can't hide him this week against the Colts. He didn't play very much against the Buffalo Bills, but this week he's going to play the whole game. He is marked as questionable with that shoulder problem, but he will come out and have a game that's going to have to be superb. He's going to have to be on top of his game. They're going to need help from the running game, but he has a good rapport, good chemistry with Dustin Keller and Braylon Edwards. And if Braylon Edwards doesn't go out and get drunk at 5 in the morning like he did earlier in the year, he might be able to provide some stability for the Jets' passing game. But I think if they can protect Mark Sanchez and let him loose and don't try to just coddle him the whole time, he can do some damage against the Colts secondary, which, by the way, won't have Gerard Powers, won't have Melvin Bullock. Kelvin Hayden may not play. They have been decimated with injuries all year. Justin Tryon and Jacob Lacey are going to get another big test. Now, the last few weeks, the Colts have been carved up a little bit by Kerry Collins, by David Garrard, by Jason Campbell. You're facing a much better passer than those guys are. So we'll see what the Colts secondary can do against Mark Sanchez. My prediction, I'm going to go with the Colts 23 and the Jets 14. I think the Colts can win this game. I think Adam Vinatieri will play a huge role, as he has been. The Colts are going to struggle a little bit on offense to move the ball with no Austin Collie and no Dallas Clark, but I think they'll get enough points to win. And I think on defense, Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis will put the pressure on to get the victory over Mark Sanchez. And the Colts will overplay the run to stop the run and do a good enough job. And as long as they don't evaporate on special teams, they'll be in good shape. 23 Colts, 14 Jets. Colts win that one in the AFC wildcard matchup. Hey, I'm going to have a Saints-Seahawks preview coming up later. Be sure not to miss that as well. This is an exclusive AFC wildcard preview. I'm John Herrick. Thanks for watching, everybody.